So if anybody had any issues with how many children that black men have fathered, this is where you find the information from. And I know people have an issue with, oh, it's only 2015 to 2019. What about the other reports? Right here in the middle, it says the National Center for Health Statistics has been conducting NSFG since 1973 to collect data on fertility and the proximate determinants that explain fertility in the United States. Now, that year is actually important because that coincides with the Roe versus Wade ruling. So they had to figure out a way to start tracking this information because now women are able to delete children on their own without the government telling them yes or no. So they married those two, fertility report and the deletion reports. So they start tracking that so they coincide. And that's why I said black people aren't the largest minority group in the United States anymore, because our women average about 400,000 child deletions every year since 1973. And I know that's rather unfortunate for me to say that, but it is what it is, man. And also, let me show you where the most important stat, right there in the middle on page 4, a higher percentage of Hispanic women, blah, 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 62.4%. Black women, 61% have ever fathered or mothered a biological child. And then you go down to here for black men, it says non-Hispanic black men have only fathered 46%, okay? But if you look, non-Hispanic white men, and it actually even says it, the percentages of non-Hispanic black and non-Hispanic white men who had ever had a child were also similar. So that is the only group that is actually close to one another. White men and black men. That's crazy, right? How that shakes out. 43% for white, 43.9% for white men, 46% for black men. Asian men had the smallest rate of 35%, whereas Hispanic men were the only ones that were above 50% at 50.1%. So this is where you get the information from. And I'm going to actually prove some things to you guys here in a second. But if you look here, bam, here's the same report that they've been doing for a while now. 2011 to 2015. You got the results right here. You see that? Ever had a biological child. So from 2011 to 2015, a higher percentage of Hispanic women, once again, regardless of nativity, had ever had a biological child at 62.1%, compared with white women, 53%, and non-Hispanic black women at 57.1%. So as you guys as you just heard, from 2011 to 2015, black women's percentage of children that they had birthed in 2015 to 2019 had increased by about 4%. And then if you go down to black men, once again, 46.6%. And this is for the people who have an issue. Change this with 2006, 2010, and this is the same report. You guys can take a look at, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop saying guys. Again, Hispanic women more likely to have a biological child, 65%. Hispanic white women, 52%. And then non-Hispanic black women at 62%. And then you go down to black men, it was at 49% from 2006 to 2010. So we're still below the majority. So from that 13-year time span, from 2006 to 2010, black men had fathered 49% of children. 49% of black men had fathered children. Fast forward to 2011 to 2015, 46.6% of black men had fathered children. And then 2015 to 2019, 46% of black men had fathered children. So that's how you get those numbers, okay?